Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here taking a look at Chromatic Aberration. Yes, that is a very odd name. So this is a PlayStation mobile game that just came out today, and you may also be surprised by the fact that I just finished it today in, as you can see there, 1 hour, 37 minutes, and there is no freaking way I died 333 times, good lord. No, I mean, I know I am a bad platform player, but there's no goddamn way I died 333 times. I'm pretty sure that's a bug. So, not connected. Okay. Well, apparently there's supposed to be leaderboards here, with the default PlayStation Mobile stuff applied to on top of it. And these are the typical PlayStation Mobile buttons. But yeah, as I said before, this is actually a platformer. As you can see, the story in the top right is there, which really has no bearing on the game or gameplay whatsoever. And on the bottom right there are the instructions. That is literally all you need to know. Collect Tesseracts to change your colour, collect all of them to open the exit, land on platforms of your colour, don't touch platforms that aren't your colour, and avoid enemies. They don't mention that, but that becomes pretty obvious. So, what did I do? How did I beat this game's 64 levels in 1 hour and 37 minutes? Well, let's just go back to about the midway point, because that's when stuff starts getting a little bit more interesting. So some of you are going to notice something right away. My apologies. You're going to notice right away that this is very, very similar to Life of Pixel. You control a guy who can move using the analog stick or the D-pad. You use X to jump. And you avoid enemies, collect all these pickups, and get to the exit. And I did actually ask the developer, even though it's glaringly obvious, I did ask the developer anyway, even though this is actually like a unique game from a different developer, they are using the same code base from Life of Pixel to develop this game. So yeah, if you're wondering why there are so many similarities, including like the physics engine feels almost exactly the same, it's just been tweaked a little bit, it's because it is basically Life of Pixel on a different code base. So as you can see here, this is relatively simple stuff. You collect these tiny little gem things, they call them Tesseracts. They light up a colour, collect another colour, and it lights up different colours. And if you see that little buzzing thing there, that's actually a platform I can't touch, because if I touch it I die. And I get insulted. Pusillanimous oath. Yeah, and there's a few different insults, so if I jump into here again, nauseating amoeba, right, and there are different insults like that. But basically, what I've showed you is basically the entire game. And I know that sounds really freaking odd, but it's true. Like, I've shown you the entire game. The game doesn't switch it up at all. Like Life of Pixel. Like, Life of Pixel is going to be the one main comparison that I'm going to be able to draw on. Because not only is it based on the same game engine, it's almost exactly the same sort of gameplay. Collect all the pickups and get to the exit. It's Life of Pixel. Alright, fine. Let's focus on Chromatic Aberration. Chromatic Aberration, throughout its 64 levels, it barely changes. Like, there is nothing new introduced after a few levels. Like, by level 10, you've seen absolutely everything the game has to offer, and it's just mixing up the layouts of everything and making it into different types of puzzles and platforming challenges. Now, for those of you who are like, well, that's not that bad of a thing, is it? Well, let me talk about the price of these games for a minute. Life of Pixel, the game this engine actually directly takes its code base from, is $1.99 and actually comes with more varied and, in my personal opinion, more enjoyable gameplay. I screwed this up. Yeah, in my personal opinion, it's more enjoyable gameplay. However, Chromatic Aberration, which only has one set of gameplay that goes through the entire game. Whoops. This one set of gameplay that lasts for about 1 hour and a half goes for about 1 hour and a half if you want to go through the entire stage, and that costs twice as much. It costs $4, $3.99 on the store. And it's just a bit odd, because it's like, this color changing stuff and all these enemies, you could do something with them. But by level 10, you've seen the 3 different types of enemies. Actually, there's 4. I'm sorry, there's 4. There's an alien that goes up and down. There's that thing down there which goes up and down, except it's a, except it's on the ground. Then you've got a thing that can go left and right, but it's actually in the air, which makes absolutely no difference. So you could just use the air thing in all of them. And then you've got this little ball that reminds me of Medusa heads in, Castlevania. So, you know, death to all of them. And then you've just got these simple puzzles which do nothing but either test your ability to brute force a combination of correct colours to pick up, or test your platforming skills. I wouldn't argue with this sort of game if there wasn't a better version that was not only made before it, but is actually cheaper. Like, Life of Pixel in... Like, this game's got its merits. I like the look. It reminds me of a ZX Spectrum game that's been smoothed out a bit. And it honestly does have actual platforming challenge. That was my fault. It actually does have platforming challenge to it. But when there's a game like Life of Pixel, which has more gameplay mechanics, like this game doesn't even have any of the sort of collect all the hidden objects in the level to get bonus levels that that Life of Pixel had. It's just get to the end and possibly time attack if you feel like it. This game has none of that. Absolutely none of it. It's just... Yeah, it's just get to the end and get a high score if you feel like it. And it's just... It's hard to recommend it. I'm going to skip this level because I had a ton of trouble on this level when I was coming through the first time. It's just too hard to recommend this game when Life of Pixel exists as a thing. Because it's like, well, why would you buy this game for $4 if Life of Pixel exists? Life of Pixel is actually going to go free. I forgot all about that. Life of Pixel is actually going to go free. Like, in some time in the next few weeks. I actually know it is. Or at least I think it is. Is it one of the free games that's coming on PlayStation Mobile? I'm not sure. But telling someone to get this game over Life of Pixel, which to be fair will be is worth the $2 they asked for it. I've spent like a good 5 hours on that game and I didn't even finish it because I'm a worthless platformer. And then I come across something like this, which is like twice the cost. Like, even when Life of Pixel isn't going free, it's twice the cost. I've finished it in like a fifth or less time than I spent on Life of Pixel. And it's one thing over and over that doesn't really vary or change up after 10 levels. And there's 64 levels. It's just impossible to recommend this over... It's just impossible to recommend this over freaking Life of Pixel, and it's odd because that's all I have to say. That's really all I've got. It's not that bad. It's not presented that badly. There is actual platforming challenge. Sometimes it feels a little unfair because the tiniest little slip-ups can happen, which means I would have to recommend that you use the D-pad. You can only jump like one predetermined height, and sometimes that screws you up. But, yeah, it's just... God, if you're really looking for, like, another chapter to add to Life of Pixel, but instead in its own standalone game that's, like, twice the price of the game to begin with, this is probably your only choice. But for those of you who are basically any sort of platforming fan at all, and you haven't played Life of Pixel, go play Life of Pixel. Or even better, wait a few weeks after this video goes up, and see if it goes free for a week. Then go get Life of Pixel. That's all I can say, really. Chromatic Aberration came out at too high a price at way too inconvenient a time. I mean, Jesus, man. Not only is your main competition half the price of your game right now, your main competition might be going free in the near future. Damn, guys. And also, there's a little bit of slowdown here and there, and sometimes you can see it in in the star field in the background there. Especially when there's like a ton of enemies. Like, let me see if I can find a level that shows that off. Thankfully, the game does share the loading times with Life of Pixel, which is pretty nice. Mate, come on, I know it's here somewhere. Level 58. Level 57, maybe? Fat hole, yeah. Yeah, here we go. See, this level will actually slow the game down a bit at some points. I've noticed it. It's kind of annoying. But, yeah, look, there's nothing else I can say! Life of Pixel is outright better, half the price, and is actually based on this engine, so it's almost exactly the same gameplay. Except this game doesn't vary its gameplay up at all. Life of Pixel has the advantage that it actually gets, it actually varies up the gameplay every 8 or so levels. This game has 64 levels where it doesn't. It just plays the same stuff out over the course of an hour and a half for double the price of Life of Pixel. And on that basis and that basis alone, I can't recommend it. It's a decent game that just has a ton better competition. Who would have thought I'd be saying that with the PlayStation Vita? Jesus Christ. But I don't know, guys. Put it down to 99 cents and I will recommend it, alright? Put it down to 99 cents and I can say this is less than even the cheapest cup of coffee and you can still have an hour and a half of fun with it, even if you're not a fan of score attacking. Just, if you do that, I can give this game a hearty recommendation. But considering that you haven't... Crap. Considering that you are charging double the price of Life of Pixel, I'm just going to keep ragging on this one point, because it's the worst part. If you're going to charge double the price of Life of Pixel, not have as much variety as Life of Pixel, and just not be as engaging as or fun as Life of Pixel, then I can't recommend it. This has been Blue Maxima playing Chromatic Aberration. If it goes down to 99 cents, it's worth your time. Otherwise, go play Life of Pixel instead. Even better, wait for Life of Pixel to be free. After I'm done when I upload this video, I'll put down in the description if Life of Pixel is going to go free. Alright? I'll put it in the description if it's going to go free. So yeah, wait for Life of Pixel to go free, and if it doesn't, go buy Life of Pixel instead. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.